scene.
Great scene.
What's another opening day, especially on the homeland, do for you? How's it feel today?
It's exciting. There's some guys on our club that are making their first home opening day, and so that's always exciting. There's some new players, one being our starter today, that is thrilled to be a Dodger and making his Dodger Stadium debut as a Dodger. And so it's just a special day. Obviously, we've played 2 games already, but opening day for our fans here is something certainly special.
Sounds like you have a couple other guys in the room sick now. Kike, what's his availabilities?
So, yeah, I got a text from him earlier today that he wasn't feeling well and didn't sleep well and couldn't keep stuff down. And so we got Miggy Rowe in there, obviously, and so I don't know his status. Trying to just get some fluids in him, rest up, and hopefully we can stay away from him. But let's just hope that it's not what Mookie dealt with.
Is he in the part concerned that it might have spread?
No, because I think that it's something that we would have felt that it would have happened earlier, where Mookie has been on the backside of this, and so I don't think that's the case. But not sure.
Was there anyone dealing with stuff like this while Mookie was sick?
No. There were some guys that were sort of not like that, but I think like anything when you're traveling in a clubhouse, that there's guys that are kind of sniffles and things like that, but nothing like what Mookie was dealing with.
Is Kike going to be part tonight?
Not sure. When I spoke to him early, he was just wanted him to sleep as long as he could, and if he could muster up the energy to get here and let the doctors see him. But they've been in communication, so I'm not sure.
You know what kind of symptoms he's dealing with?
Vomiting.
How different is a home opener like today when you guys are doing the ceremonies and you got the gold jerseys? How much does it kind of add to this experience?
It certainly, definitely adds. I think that, Tokyo, it was a different environment. This is completely separate. I feel the same sort of emotions, anticipation as I would in a normal situation. Because with the gold, outlining of the jerseys, the hats, and obviously budding up to the ring ceremony tomorrow, and just this whole weekend, there's just a lot of momentum, excitement, with our fan base.
I talked about this after the parade, and also in 21, you guys didn't have full capacity when you guys were coming back for a home opener. Was it going to be just have a full ballpark, be able to celebrate the World Series like this?
I'm telling you, it's like, I just think that our fan base has waited a long time for this kind of culmination, I guess, with the parade, and then with that, there's just a lot of momentum. It was a huge off season for the organization, for the club, and then you kind of go to Tokyo and get a chance to be received, in Japan like we were, and all the while our fans here are just watching and in anticipation for us to come back here and open. And so there's just a lot of excitement and traction, momentum, whatever you want to say, with the Dodger fan base, and it's our players feel it.
Doc, over the course of the season, how much advantage does Dodger Stadium give you?
Huge advantage. You can talk to any relief pitcher that faces us in the late innings, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and they feel the pressure, and they feel it when the game's on the line. So I would say probably the biggest advantage is when we're hitting in the bottom half of the inning in the later innings.
Dave, what goes through your mind when the beginning of the game happens on a day like this and everybody's being introduced? What are you thinking about?
Early on, I've already kind of wrapped my head around the game. Then I'll kind of make my rounds to some guys that it's going to be newer to them. And then I try to put myself in their space for a quick moment, because everyone's taking this moment in differently. And then once you get to the anthem and you kind of appreciate, I'll think about my father, you know, I just lost my grandmother a week ago. But then the game, as it goes on, I'm enjoying the first couple innings and seeing how our guys are going, and then I start really getting locked in, probably the third inning. But the first couple innings, hopefully I can settle in today and just enjoy the afterglow of opening day.
The new renovations, including your clubhouse looks like the Ritz. Can you talk about
Yeah, it does look like the Ritz. It's very high end, and that's what you get from winning a championship. So, ownership, Mark, Janet Marie, Stan, and everyone, what they did, the workers that worked, you know, overtime to get it done in 5 months, incredible. And so it's spectacular. Yeah, it's amazing.
Did they redo your office?
They did. They did.
More space?
Much more space. So I think I might have room for you. They did a good job.
Dave, when you have guys who are first time on an opening day roster, obviously these guys were on so few series like Dreyer and Kasparius. What's the conversation like when you're telling them they're on the opening day roster?
I didn't need to tell Ben because it was sort of kind of known, certainly how we pitched and kind of what we went through. And Jack, I gave I gave it to Mark Pryor to share that news with Jack. Actually, no, shoot, Jack, I told Jack, I think in Tokyo. Yeah, and then Mark Pryor videotaped it with our bench coach, bullpen coach, Connor McGinnis, and Josh Barber in there. And I told Jack he got really emotional. And I asked him what his first phone call was gonna be, and it was to his mom, which is as it should be. And so he was really emotional, so I did get to do that one. But the other guys, like Ben, Ben's sort of a seasoned veteran, it seems like. It's good story.
Was the note before just because of school starting? How is that going to play out just against lefties for left field?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just right now, it's just kind of a small little right here and now. He's not playing today, which if I was a left-handed, I wouldn't mind that either. He'll be ready off the bench. And then probably Sale, I'll give him Sale. But then outside of that, he'll be playing against lefties. He's gonna get plenty of at-bats this year. Against lefties too, yeah.
How would you title your bullpen? Traditional, all guys on deck. What do you think about when you see the bullpen? Do you feel like there's a closer? Do you feel like it's next man up?
I think it's all hands on deck, next man up. I do feel really good about Tanner closing, you know, a lot of the games. I don't want to kind of put myself into a corner in the sense that there's not a situation where I don't see it pitching in the 8th inning at a time. But it's a very versatile pen. It's a very neutral bullpen. It's a pen that's bought into whatever decision I make that they kind of execute, which for me as a manager is everything. And there's just a lot of trust there.
They know that?
They know that.
They pretty much know that.
They know that. But when the phone rings, as Josh Bard says, they'll be ready.
Dave, the ring ceremony being on Friday and not today, I mean, usually today you kind of turn the page. What's the thought process there, and do you like that it's not today and it's Friday?
I think I do like it. I think that it gives the fans an opportunity to have something unique and special for 2 days in a row, where it's all encompassing potentially in one day. It's opening day, which is special, and then the fans that aren't here today that can come tomorrow get something unique as well. So I think it's great that what the Dodgers did to allow for the fans to get a couple unique experiences.
Have you seen the rings yet?
I have not. They've been on the wraps, man. Yeah.
Do you think that Mookie's at the point where you can play every day right now, or do you still kind of have to feel things out with where he's
We'll
at?
feel it out. He's gonna play tomorrow. That's my expectation, assuming things go well today, and then we'll kind of read and react for Saturday.
Especially this year, they did Tokyo Series, and a lot of Japanese company became sponsorship with its Dodgers. That there's a lot of Japanese audiences watching. How do you feel with this Japanese audience?
It's been great. I've actually had the good fortune of meeting a lot of our global sponsors in Japan, and they are just enthusiastic baseball fans and huge Dodger fans, and it's been a great relationship thus far, and it's good for baseball, certainly good for the Dodgers, and just knowing that yeah, there's gonna be a lot of TVs tuned into the Dodgers, early in, Tokyo this morning or next morning.
Dave, what do you like about, Teoscar hitting in front of Freddie against some lefties?
I just like it, you know, there's a Teoscar tax to get through Freddie the third time. Teoscar's been a very good hitter versus left, and, it just makes it just a decision point, maybe a little bit more tougher for a manager, a pitcher to navigate our lineup with Freddie in the four, you know, with a tough lefty. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.